Welcome to #Wednesdays Weekly, a weekly information session in collaboration with the voluntary sector and public sector partners. Today's session is Citizens Panel, and our hosts are Alison and Phil. Over to you, Phil.
Hello. So, I probably don't know me. I am Phil Burton, the engagement lead for the clinical commissioning group, at least until the 1st of July, when I'll be something else. Who knows what, working for the integrated care system. One of the things that we're trying to do at the moment that we think is really relevant for our borough is to set up a citizens panel to give as many people as possible a voice about health and care issues. The idea is that we try to get 1,000 recruits or volunteers who will agree to carry out 2 or 3 surveys a year, possibly come to focus groups about a range of issues that are important to themselves and to us around health and care. So what we've done so far is design a leaflet, which I know Laura's got a copy. Alison, I don't know if have you got an electronic version that we could share? Basically, what we want to do is enlist your help as part of the process. So we've got to get this leaflet out to as many people as possible, hopefully 10,000 people, in order to get a 10% return rate. So we could get 1,000 people on this panel and make it really worthwhile. But we want to make sure that we reach as many different communities and as many different individuals across the borough as possible, so that, you know, all the different groups in the borough have that opportunity to have a voice and to influence what's going to be another period of change. You know, we've got a lot of catch-up work to do across the NHS after COVID, as we keep seeing in the media. There are changes to the way the system is going to be set up. We're going to have much more local input through neighbourhood boards and things like that. So we need to get people involved as much as possible. We've designed a basic leaflet that really just introduces what the panel will be, and then asks the reader to either click on a QR code, scan a QR code, or there's a link as well, which will take them into a more detailed form, because what we need then is the background details of individuals, so you know, all the different demographics, so that we can balance out and make sure that we've got the right panel that reflects the makeup of the communities in the borough. So that's basically where we're up to at the moment. Once it's up and running, we will open it to all partners, so VCFSE organisations, local authority, other local care organisations, who will be able to use it to speak and engage with the local community. So it hopefully will give a real voice to local people, and will be a substantial enough number for it to really count. So this is the leaflet from the graphics people. We're going to get, is it 3,000, Alison, that we're having printed? And obviously we'll be able to send it out in electronic form as well. We haven't done translations or an easy read actually at the moment, but we will obviously, if people are requesting that, need to look into providing different formats.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Phil. We're going to do several thousand of these and distribute them through various mechanisms. And we'll be sort of making sure that a lot of them are available within areas where we may find a lot of like protected characteristics in the community. And obviously we'll need to make a lot of them available, being as though we're, the dropout rate or the non-take-up rate will be quite considerable. We're hoping that usage of the QR code, which has become quite common these days, will be able to encourage participants to go straight through to the information about the citizens panel that will be available to them. But we're also mindful that, there needs to be traditional sort of contact details on there as well. We will be doing quite a robust sort of social media campaign as well. So there will be electronic resources available as well as this sort of flyer, the more traditional format, really. So obviously we were keen for yourselves to be able to see details of what we were planning on doing, but also wanted to get your views on the resources as well. So if anyone has any views on the resources, then please, by all means, let us have them. The resources for social media is really just sort of images, similar images really, and there'll be accompanying text, sort of the same sort of thing that's on there, except obviously a lot sort of less detail. That was more or less all that we were going to cover on this session, Laura. We didn't really have like a very detailed sort of project plan or anything of that nature for today. In order to get going on it, we were really keen to get views on these resources before we signed them off. Yeah. And, we'll happily take any queries that any of the participants have from today's session.
I just my share.